11 signs it's time to end a relationship. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please subscribe. Ending a relationship is never easy. It can be emotionally challenging and disheartening, especially when the connection has been long-standing. The longer you invest in someone, the more difficult it becomes to release a relationship that no longer brings fulfillment. You might find yourself making excuses and choosing to stay, even if deep down, you sense that things are not aligning. Yet, if your partner isn't treating you with the care you deserve, or if being with them consistently brings unhappiness, sustaining the relationship may prove to be unsustainable. Here are some indicators that it could be the right moment to consider moving on. 1. Different life goals. Some key aspects can shape the path of your relationship in the long run, such as marriage, having children, deciding where to live, and financial matters. If you and your partner haven't discussed your stances on these significant issues, it's crucial to have a conversation about them. Discovering disagreements on these matters, without room for compromise, may mean you're investing time in a relationship that could face challenges later on. It's essential to address these differences early on to avoid potential conflicts down the road. 2. Seeking support outside your relationship. Many people form close, platonic relationships with colleagues, often referred to as a work spouse, given the substantial time spent together during the work week. While this is quite common, issues arise when this person, or someone else, becomes your primary source for meeting emotional needs. This connection doesn't necessarily involve physical intimacy, but the situation becomes more precarious if there's an attraction. It's not limited to a pseudo-romantic involvement. You might find yourself turning to a friend or family member for the need to be heard, vent, or engage in deep conversations. These are aspects you ideally should be able to share with your partner as a priority. 3. Lack of engagement in your life. When your partner appears disinterested, mindlessly nodding while engrossed in their phone during conversations about your job or friends, it gives the impression of a lack of interest. If they struggle to show even a hint of engagement when you share, expecting their participation in important events like family gatherings or friends' parties can feel like an impossibility. Having separate interests is healthy for both individuals in a relationship, but during significant moments in your life, you'd naturally anticipate your partner making an effort to be present. Having to persuade them to participate in things that matter to you may signal a mismatch in your connection. 4. Feeling unseen in your relationship. While some people prefer privacy in their relationships, there comes a point where getting to know your partner's friends and family becomes important. In a committed relationship, you'd expect your partner to share aspects of their life. If you find yourself in a committed relationship, but your partner keeps their life entirely private or avoids introducing you to significant people, you might start to feel undervalued. It's essential for your partner to include you in their world, whether it's attending important events together or spending time with friends. You deserve to feel that your partner is committed to the relationship and takes pride in being with you. 5. Struggling to open up honestly. In a thriving relationship, there's a sense of complete comfort. Partners can openly talk about their desires, needs, and express when those needs aren't fulfilled. If you find yourself hesitant to voice your concerns, it becomes an issue. You shouldn't feel anxious about being perceived as overly sensitive or irrational for communicating your desires. Instead, you should feel confident in discussing your emotions. If that sense of security is lacking, it might be a cue to reevaluate the dynamics of your relationship. 6. Feeling pressured to change and struggling with self-worth. While some requests in a relationship, like preferences about the toilet lid, are normal, things take a toll when your partner demands changes that make you question your worth. If they push insensitive requests like losing weight or finding a better job, it can leave you feeling inadequate. The desire for unconditional love is universal, and if your partner fails to provide that, it might reflect their own insecurities rather than your true value. 7. Lack of trust. A relationship red flag. Trust serves as the bedrock for a resilient relationship. If either party harbors doubts about the other's trustworthiness, it can strain the relationship. While initial feelings of jealousy or insecurity are common, a healthy relationship should evolve to a point where trust is firmly established. Ongoing worry about your partner's actions when you're apart suggests an erosion of trust. If constant questioning becomes a theme, it's a clear signal that trust is lacking. This situation prompts a crucial evaluation of the relationship and raises questions about its sustainability. 8. Not settling for the sake of investment. If the idea of breaking up frequently crosses your mind without a clear reason for staying, it's essential to assess if you're settling for less than you deserve. The duration of a relationship, in itself, is not a sufficient reason to remain together. It's understandably disappointing when significant time and effort have been invested in a relationship that doesn't pan out. There might be external pressures like societal expectations about timelines for marriage or having children, prompting hesitation. However, staying in an unfulfilling relationship solely due to past investments is not a valid reason. 9. Recognizing and addressing abuse. No form of abuse, physical, mental, or emotional, is acceptable. You deserve to be treated with respect and care, especially by someone who claims to care about you. If your partner engages in belittling language, name-calling, or makes you feel devalued, it's crucial to prioritize your well-being and consider ending the relationship. Breaking away from an abusive situation can be tough, given that abusers often use fear to maintain control. However, it's even riskier to stay, as the situation is likely to escalate over time. 10. Lingering resentment. A weight on your relationship. Resentment, whether stemming from minor irritations or long-standing grudges, can cast a shadow over any relationship, be it romantic or otherwise. Unaddressed, it can take a toll on your emotional well-being. Whether you're bothered by your partner's habits or holding on to unresolved grievances, the presence of lingering resentment signals a need to assess your relationship. It prompts a reflection on whether the issues can be overcome or if they point to more significant challenges that may be insurmountable. 11. Rediscovering happiness, a crucial sign. While it might sound obvious, being unhappy in a relationship warrants serious consideration. Yet, acknowledging and addressing this dissatisfaction isn't always straightforward. Whether it's denial or a string of justifications, confronting the truth becomes essential. If attempts to repair the relationship prove futile, and the unhappiness persists, it might be more beneficial to part ways rather than prolonging the inevitable. If any of these signs resonate with your relationship, it's a cue for self-reflection, prompting you to assess whether it's worth fighting for or if it's time to embrace change. What are your thoughts? Did any of these resonate with your experiences? Share your reflections in the comments below.